Hi everyone, welcome to this new ZeusAI event. I'm here with the rest of the ZeusAI team, Lorenzo, Sasha, and Francesco. We are also here with our special guest commentator, Scops.
Hey everyone.
Welcome back. Scops has already been on this channel to talk about 7 Wonders Duel. And today, ZeusAI will play a best of 5 match, 7 Wonders Duel match against Livandre. Welcome to the stream.
Thank you.
And he was the winner of a series of tournaments, over the top tournaments. So I will give the word to Scops, who will tell us a little bit more about these tournaments.
Sure. Yeah, the Over the Top tournament series was an event organized by Diego84, a very strong Italian player from our group. And yeah, it featured basically all the best players in the game at the time. We played it last year. He selected what he thought were the best players and personally invited all of them. So the level was extremely high. Basically, every match was featuring 2 top players. Well, don't feel bad if you've not been invited. Don't take it personally. But if you feel that you should have been invited, well, reach out. Maybe we'll do this again and we'll consider your application. But yeah, no, big props for Diego for organizing the tournament. It was really a lot of fun to play it. And of course, congratulations to Livandre for winning it against Follow Neko in the finals. The tournament was structured with 4 qualifiers, and then after that, the best performers were advanced into the second phase, the finals, single elimination tournament, and yeah, so again, congratulations to Livandre, and back to you, Giovanni.
Great. So it has been a while since our last live stream, and in the meantime, we have created a website that you see here. You can check it out to see what we are up to with ZeusAI. And in particular, we have been testing a variant. We call it the rebalanced variant, where the balance between first and second player is improved a little bit, and we will use this variant of the game in the match today between ZeusAI and Livandre. So I will give the word to Sasha and Francesco, who will tell us more about this variant.
Yeah, so when we started using ZeusAI, we noticed the problem. The problem is a very well-known problem in the community, that like the first player has a very big advantage, and using Zeus, we could actually quantify this advantage. And it seems to be that in self-play games, Zeus wins roughly 2 games out of 3 as a first player, which is like a very, very big difference. And we tried like several options to several like variants to like reduce this first player advantage. We started like by compensating the amount of starting coins, but that didn't work very well. Maybe Francesco has a better analysis about that.
So the first
Hi everyone, welcome to this
the
new
first attempt we
ZeusAI
did
event.
was to alter the amount of coins that the starting players have. I think this is the first attempt that everybody tries as soon as a house rule, as soon as they realize that maybe there is some tweaking to be done. Actually, this didn't work out very well because it seemed that changing the coin by 1 is too little. It doesn't impact much into this difference, but in terms of the actual outcome of the game. But if you start changing too much the amount of coins, then the game changes it a lot. So the way the first stage plays out is very different. So in order to minimize the disruption to the game, we tried out something different. We tried to tweak the way that the wonders are selected.
So as you know well, when you select the wonders, first like 4 wonders are revealed, then the first player picks 1, second player picks 2, and first player gets the last, and then 4 more wonders are revealed, and now second player picks first 1, first player picks next 2, and then second player gets the last again. And this can lead to very unbalanced games because, well, it's common knowledge that like replay wonders are like the strongest. And with this kind of draft, either player could get like 3, maybe 3 replay wonders against 1. And if you combine this with already like big first player advantage first player has, this leads to some really unplayable games. So what we said, what if we let second player choose each draft whether to start or not? This way, like they can guarantee having at least at least the same number of replay wonders as the first player, which means like you don't get too unbalanced games. And even when the second player has like a lot more replay wonders, this still leads to balanced games because the first player advantage is still very high. And like to compensate that, of course, first player gets like the best non-replay wonders out of these drafts. So overall, it seems that even very unbalanced setups in terms of replay wonders still lead to balanced games. So we tested this with Zeus, and the first player win rate dropped to 55%, roughly that. And so we started a series of tournaments with these rules among like top players. We're currently playing the 12th of this series. And our data seems to agree very much with what Zeus predicted, with a win rate for the first player at around 53%, which is very close to 50, and which is very, very good in our opinion. And another advantage that this variant has is that now the draft phase is really interesting. Like it used to be, okay, you just pick the best wonder. Like there's no really like a wonder ranking, but close enough. And so when you regularly play like with the usual rules, you just each time you choose the best wonder you can, and you know what to pick. So it's kind of boring, I would say. But like with this variant, it's really not easy to choose between like the pairs. So you really have to choose if you want the first and the fourth wonder or the middle two, the second and third. And this is often not very clear. So it's kind of refreshing, like I would say. I find it like it made this phase of the game very interesting, in my opinion, other than like making the game a lot more balanced overall.
I want to add that as you maybe know, there has been a second version of the game that came out recently. It's Duel for Middle Earth. It has some radically different rules in some aspect of the game, but one thing that they did was to create an asymmetry in the number of starting coins. So I don't think there is enough data yet about this second version, but the fact that they did change something in the starting setup, surely it means that they gave some thought about this at least.
Yeah, if I can add something as well, from my point of view, I'm enjoying these rebalanced tournaments because it's really a very simple change in the game. It doesn't affect the actual game. It plays exactly like Seven Wonders Duel, and everything you know about Seven Wonders Duel applies to Seven Wonders Duel rebalanced, but it has that extra feeling in the beginning that you're always going to play a game where you stand a chance. Basically, sometimes in regular Seven Wonders Duel, you enter some games where just after the draft, you know that if you're lucky, you have like 10% chance of winning that game because it's a 3-1 split, and and your player too, and it really doesn't feel like fun at all, like playing that game. Instead, the rebalanced version makes sure that you never have that kind of situation. Some games are still not super balanced, and the extra rules don't actually do much, but at least you know that those terrible games are not going to be a thing anymore. So it's a very simple implementation to the regular game. I would advise anyone who owns the game to play at their place with these rules. It's just a lot better.
Nice. So as we come near the beginning of this event, Lorenzo, do you want to ask something so that we get to know our opponent?
Yes, of course. Today is my pleasure to officially welcome our opponent, Livandre, in this live streaming. He goes by the name Livandre86 on Board Game Arena, and he has played nearly 7,000 games on the website, and probably much more on in real life. And he also reached a peak score of more than 500 ELO points. So, Livandre, could you briefly introduce yourself to our audience?
I see you really investigated all my stats on the Board Game Arena to a level I didn't even know. Yes, so Livandre or Livander, kind of a misnomer there, are the nicknames that I use when I play online or other games, like with friends or stuff like that. It originates from a game of Vampire the Masquerade, which is a role-playing game I played years ago. And then it just stuck, and I like it like that. But in real life, my name is Giuseppe. I live currently in the Netherlands since almost 14 years, so it's quite a lot. In Utrecht, I came here for my studies in physics. Now I switched totally career. I'm not in university or research anymore. So kudos to you guys that are making papers and with this AI and all the stuff. It's very cool. And I'm happy that you invited me to this event, and also that I can contribute to some training of the AI itself.
So the reason we are all here today is because we love board games. And could you tell us when did you start this hobby?
Yes, I love board games too, of course. There is not really like a real starting date because I've been playing board games since I was a kid. You could say that there is like a change in the quality of board games I've been playing. Because when I was a kid, I think I played Monopoly and Risk quite a lot, especially during university times, Risk. Nowadays, those are two games that I would probably not play. I can talk for hours, why not? But it's like a closed chapter of life. But those are the first ones I ever played, okay? A more serious phase of playing board games started, I think, around 2014, 2015, so like 10 years ago, more or less, when I played Catan with it was even a Dutch version of it. I think it's Colonizers of Catan. It's complete
Settlers of
name.
Catan, I believe.
Settlers. Thanks. In Dutch is kolonisten, but yeah. And then soon after that, a friend of mine gave me as a gift a copy of Several Wonders, the original, the base game, which I still have, the physical one, that I played a lot. And then it just started. You play with friends, and you find maybe a local club and stuff, like that. And I have to say I'm quite lucky in Utrecht. There are a lot of possibilities about that.
Today,
And then my
playing...
collection increased.
Okay. So today you're playing the base game in the rebalanced variant, of course, but Seven Wonders Duel also has 2 expansions. Do you also play with the expansions or just the base game?
So I had experience to play also the expansions. Personally, I think I can enjoy playing with the Pantheon expansion because I just like the concept, and I think it adds really another bit to the game without really changing it. The Agora expansion, I don't really like it. Could also be because I'm not good at it, so you might say it's a biased judgment, but I really have the feeling that I'm playing something different. So I think I decided I'm not gonna play that any longer. It's quite an effort, also just playing it. While Seven
Oh.
Yeah, with the
Okay,
audio.
we are having some troubles with the audio coming from your part. I think we said everything our audience wanted to know about you and about your relationship with Seven Wonders Duel. And I believe we can start the first game.
Yeah. So, Livandre, if you can, leave this call. Yes. Okay. So we had some small audio issues, but okay. So now Livandre cannot hear us anymore. We still have his camera for our spectators, and I believe he's going to create a table soon, so that we will start very soon the first game. Okay, so the game is on. Livandre is going to be the first player, which means that ZeusAI will decide who starts the first and the second draft. So here you can see the preferences, the analysis that ZeusAI has made about the first rebalanced draft, and in particular, I believe ZeusAI wants to start this draft by taking the Piraeus. So this is the first line that you see in the analysis, and on our end, we are going to chat with Livandre, so that we decide how to play out the draft. So I believe ZeusAI is going to tell Livandre that he will take the Piraeus, and Livandre will decide the second and third wonders.
So we may take the chance to add that we are having this exchange on the chat at the table on BGA on Board Game Arena because the website at the moment does not implement the rebalanced variant of the game. So the 2 players, which is Livandre and ZeusAI in this case, must cooperate and decide their moves before actually making them on the website.
So very interesting. Already Zeus decided to take the lighthouse in this draft.
I didn't really decide. It was the last
Well,
one
yeah.
we left.
Yes.
Yes.
And I guess the same
ZeusAI
goes here. Yeah. I mean, it's probably going to end up with the pyramids, but because it wants the gardens, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which makes sense. They're a lot better than the Sphinx. There is no strategy, so military pressure shouldn't be too much.
So in this case, the rebalanced rules did not affect the split of the replay wonders very much. It's still a 2-2 split, which means that first player still has a solid advantage. It's one of those cases where, the extra rules have not helped a lot.
Yeah, we can see that Zeus estimates like a 20% chance of winning, which is not great. But I guess it also depends on the structure of the pyramid, with the good picks being on the edges of the pyramid. Like there's no chance to build the usual triangle, and so Zeus is gonna lose access also to the cards in the third row.
Well, technically, ZeusAI, discarded, and he's going to build an extra turn wonder immediately.
Interesting.
So I don't see the stats from Zeus actually. Where should I get them? Here. I am in that one, but maybe I should.
No, I think that's okay. Okay, so we got this bold move, I would say.
Yeah.
Going for first very quickly. And now, I mean, the first makes sense, but I'm not sure if it's better to start with the gardens. Because now you have no money at all. If the plan is to also go with the hanging gardens as last move, then it would probably have made more sense to play them first and then the Piraeus last.
Yes.
Yes, probably.
So I guess the plan is not to do that, but we'll see.
But yeah, we definitely see, a reasonably difficult start for ZeusAI.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is not happy. Definitely not happy.
And by the way, as an update since our last live stream, you can see that now we also show a quick analysis during our opponent's turns. So now you also know what ZeusAI thinks about the moves that our opponent makes.
Oh, okay, interesting.
What would Zeus do? Okay. Oh, interesting. It makes sense. With theology being around, you don't want to leave too many green cards, and he has only 2 coins, so he can't really build much.
Playing quite a strange game. Early lighthouse.
There's still that's a bad pick. Well, it could have happened, obviously, but
He's denying the stone to Livandre.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, chances are not great, but Zeus still managed to build a stone monopoly, which is not too bad.
And with the lighthouse already built,
Will we see the gardens coming?
yeah, I would say so.
I would
Yeah,
probably do that, yeah.
yeah, for the quail.
But yeah, he's definitely not happy at all.
No.
Not very happy, no.
So thinking about whether to
Okay.
build the hanging gardens or not.
It's close, it says.
It's close.
Even with pyramids as a follow-up, instead of building the quail.
Interesting. I
Have
mean,
you
it
ever
makes
seen,
sense.
Have you
think
ever
it
seen
makes a lot
all
of
4
sense.
wonders in age 1?
I have seen
I
that,
don't
but
think so.
usually it was by a bad player.
Well, 4 Wonder in Edge 1 is not very easy to achieve, though.
It is
Like-
happening, apparently.
I think it makes a lot of sense because a single green card maybe is not going to change a lot for him.
Yeah,
And
especially
the pyramids,
theology.
the sooner you do them, the better in the end. If you really have to do them, because you are giving up a less useful card in principle.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is a good point.
And theology was not going to make a lot of difference at this point for him.
No.
However, the green card would have been useful now, I would say.
Yeah.
Yes.
With this setup, you would start on the left and... Well, now it doesn't make sense anymore, but... Then you force your opponent to spend
to push the civil game as best as he can. Like accrue some points now before Livandre can set up his economy.
But now
Probably
he
the plan.
knows that like his opponent is gonna take theology, so most likely I would say.
Yeah, that's not good.
No.
So military push starts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it makes sense because actually the military threat was like real. Livandre has like 3 shields. He could have accessed, well, with two red wonders to none. You really can't beat like all the reds. So,
But playing the early pyramids also has another advantage that when Livandre will get theology, basically he'll not be able to use it much because there's only one wonder basically that's getting the extra ability, and now none.
and now none.
That is true. So Livandre went with the statue of Zeus and destroyed the stone, which I guess makes sense because like to limit the monopoly against himself.
Well, but you still have access to the 2 stones later. I don't know. But I find it interesting that actually this is an interesting turning point, right? Because if Zeus picks the glass now, which seems to be the top pick, then Livandre has to choose between 2 cards that he really wants.
Yes.
Well, in the end, I think I would have taken the stones instead. I believe. I wasn't fast enough to check what Zeus wanted to do, but I would have taken the stones there.
I think also the stones by a small margin.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Luckily for him,
I guess
there's
that
a caravan now.
Oh, that helps.
That helps a
I guess
lot.
the way you can justify not taking the stones is because Zeus didn't have the money to build them. Like.
But still, I mean,
Still,
once
no,
you
I
have
agree,
the
it's
stones,
still-
basically you have everything you need, and you can take back the civil game.
Still, the game
Yeah.
is still very much going according to Zeus.
What we can say for sure so far is that Livandre is quite a fast player.
He's quite a fast player, that's true. And now it's probably debating between the wheel and the caravan. I would take the caravan without thinking a lot. But yeah, he went for the wheel, so he's basically going all in on science at this point. He's given up on the civil game with this move. There's no chance to recover the 15 plus points that he needs
with
to
no
cover the
stone.
gap.
Yeah, that's even like architecture is really a sciencey move.
Yeah.
Oh, bold. I was not expecting this.
Yeah, I think agriculture or law were the most obvious choices.
Yeah.
Well, now he needs to secure 3 green cards in H3. Basically, that's the only plan for the game. There's nothing left. But with 2 replays, that's definitely possible. He's got resources. He of course he needs also to defend from war, but yeah, that should be doable.
Could you discard the Caravansary in that position? Like, his money that important? I mean, it is, yes, but like, in many regards, like, they cost something. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a weird pick, in my opinion. I would never have done that.
I would have built it, yeah.
But so according to ZeusAI, well, it's very bipolar game now.
Yeah.
It's either science for Livandre or civil for Zeus. So in a way, if we believe ZeusAI's analysis, Livandre was in the driver's seat for the civil game, and he gave it up by picking the wheel instead of the caravansary, which is slightly risky, I suppose.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, you're never sure if you are in the driver's seat with
Of
the
course.
civil game. If we believe
there's probably been a shift when he picked the mortar over the double stone as well.
What? What did we just see?
He discarded the 6 coins. He discarded the brewery.
That is very.
That is weird.
That cannot be justified anyway.
No.
Interesting.
Apparently, it doesn't make any difference. That's the justification. He's not gonna need
justification.
He's not gonna need those extra coins. He's not gonna need those extra points. If he wins the civil game, is gonna be by a large margin. So
that's what he thinks. Apparently.
That's what he thinks. That's how I justify it.
Oh, I think.
Well,
many green cards.
Okay.
Yeah, I think,
well, it's over. Yeah.
This is over. Yes.
It's over.
There are too many green cards.
Yeah.
Well, Livandre bet everything on this kind of setup, and it worked. So yeah, sometimes it works.
Yes. So maybe it's time
according to Zeus, it was a high chance bet though. What was it? 70 something percent?
Yeah, 80 something.
80 maybe
more,
even.
yes.
Yeah.
So maybe it's time to remind our viewers that in all these best of 5 matches, ZeusAI always lost the first game.
I guess that's why he discarded the brewery. It's just a power move, saying, "Yeah, I'm gonna give this up, like, just to make my opponent feel better." I'm not playing seriously, and then he'll show his true colors.
even in the live demonstrations that we did
That's true.
at the fair
That is
in
true.
Bologna.
Yeah.
Lost the
ZeusAI
first
won 18-1, and the first game was the game that was lost.
Needs a bit of time to warm up, you know.
Yes.
Literally, because the GPU was probably actually warming up.
Yes. Still 20 to 30 degrees Celsius has to go up to 70 or so. But yeah, very smooth third age for Livandre.
Yeah.
He just needs to wait to get the two science symbols.
3 actually he needs, but yes.
3.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah.
So
not gonna be an issue.
So yeah, but a tiny bit of calculations, I suppose, needed to
Sure,
be made.
of course. Why not?
Like letting ZeusAI start so that Livandre gets priority on one of the 2 greens on the 3rd row, and then with 1 extra turn, he also has priority on both greens, both sundials later on.
Actually, the fun fact is you see that like the valuation bar is not 100% because this is the kind of positions you still struggles a bit with, because the way it works is not like computation. Like it doesn't go that deep down the line, so Zeus can't really see now that like he's gonna miss out on all the greens, but he knows like that most of the time, since there are that many greens around, and like with this replace round, then he's gonna lose. But yeah, that's the kind of like tactile view that doesn't really have. Zeus really plays strategically, not tactically. So kind of colorblind to these things. It's a bit weird.
And you never know, your opponent could always make a mistake.
Okay,
Only 1%.
and now
There you go.
Yeah. So GG.
GG.
Okay, so Livandre should join us back in call 1, I believe.
Hopefully his mic works just now.
Oh, yes.
Otherwise,
yeah.
should just mute him as soon as he starts talking. Because
Let's see if Livandre joins us to call 1 or if he rematches directly. And in the meantime, I will update the score. So as we are used to, we will have the opponent taking the first point. Hello.
he's muted.
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Welcome and congratulations for taking the first win.
Thanks.
Well played. Yeah.
I was a bit lucky. I don't know.
Well. It was,
At some point, I thought I'm not gonna win this on points.
Actually, Zeus thought you were gonna win it on points until you took the 3rd green symbol.
So there, yeah.
If you went for the caravan instead, Zeus think you would have still made it on points, even though you were way behind, and you get more cards in 3rd age because of the replay wonders.
Yeah, but that was the moment where I thought, okay, here I really choose where to go. And then when I saw the 3rd era, I was like, okay. Really.
Well, it was actually quite a safe bet according to Zeus. Going science was a good option. He would have gone with the caravansary, but also going science was given very high percentages of win on on the science side, with nearly 80%. So it was
Yeah,
quite
yeah,
a safe bet.
the two choices were very close. So
Yeah.
Yeah, you can still be very unlucky that in the third era, 3 out of 4 green cards are out, and then
Yeah.
But even if you know,
Green
there
two.
are situations where you can't access even just one of them because they're next to each other.
yeah.
Something.
Well, like in this case too, we're
Like in
literally
this
next to
case.
each other, and he played in a way that I could not get both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the other interesting move, I think it was when you had to choose between the pair with the mortar or the two stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I would have taken the stones, honestly, but I wasn't fast enough to check what Zeus was thinking. I think Jova said it was just slightly in favor of the stones.
I think so.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah, that was also another moment where I had to think a bit.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy call.
And in hindsight, probably I would have taken the stones actually, because now I realized that like the wonders, I could still make them with the stones. So I did not go for theology anyway because there was not really point. So at that point, it was probably better the stones. But it's one of those things. Like, when there is a psychological thing when you see I can make a couple, bam.
Yeah.
You go for it.
Okay.
What surprised me of Zeus was somewhere, I think, at the end of the second era, one of the final moves that he could have taken the. Don't remember the name. The card with 6 coins.
Yeah.
The brewery.
He discarded it, and I
that
was
didn't
like,
make any sense.
No, that cannot be justified.
Okay, no, I thought maybe there's some strange calculation, but no, it's okay.
I guess the thing is, as Scott said, that either Zeus wins on civil and that, or he loses on science, and that's regardless of that move. So yeah, it's actually a worse move for a human player, but it doesn't really change chances that much.
So Zeus saw it as like just any other move.
Probably, it didn't make any difference. That's our interpretation, at least.
Yeah, I think
but
it's
it
quite
could
correct.
be that we are able to construct some combination in the third age where it would have made a difference. So this could be really a move that is bad.
It is for sure.
Yeah, but I guess the number of cases in which it is actually different are so tiny that didn't like influence the computation that much. I'm not defending the move; it's actually a bad move. We all agree on that.
Influence the calculations. The question is if they actually exist, but probably they do.
Probably. Maybe you have to pick like a bunch of reds to win on military before it gets all the science symbols, but then you need more coins to do that. I guess we can build one,
especially in a regular game between two humans. It can always matter because it doesn't matter how well you're positioned. Sometimes you make some stupid mistakes later on the game where if you gave away some free points before, then it could make the difference because you're just wasting part of your lead. And if you continue doing that until the end of the game, well, then probably you'll lose.
Let me add one quick thing. Livandre, can you speak not too close to the microphone because we are having sometimes a little bit of going too loud. Otherwise, it's okay. It's usually okay.
Can you hear me like this?
It's still not the best sometimes. But whatever.
Okay. Yeah, I mean it's not a big issue. Okay. So any more comments? Are we ready to see our second game?
Yeah, I will make a rematch.
Okay, yes. So
So
please leave this call and
yeah,
launch.
see you later.
Yes, good luck.
Good luck.
Thanks.
Good luck.
Okay, so the rematch is happening. This time ZeusAI is going to be first player. Okay, the game is on.
Okay.
Have,
Now we see the balance variant making a difference.
oh yes.
There's like a 47 to 73% shift. 47 to 70% shift between
starting and not starting the draft.
starting and not starting, and now it's the second player that probably wants to start.
Absolutely. And this is because there is only one extra turn wonder, which is the Appian Way, and you just want it. And the other three wonders are actually good. So, I mean,
yeah.
In addition to the Appian Way, you also get...
it will be a difficult call.
Well, you get the library, but I guess we can see like the typical phenomenon, which with law among the tokens, then the mausoleum is preferred to the library. And often the converse happens when it is not.
He's going for Zeus as a first pick. And then Mausoleum, okay.
Yeah.
Well, because of course Livandre chose the library, yeah.
And again, we can see a place where it does make a difference. We have both the temple and the Piraeus. So making the first pick is not that important, but between the gardens and the lighthouse, there's an ocean.
Yes.
Yes. So ZeusAI will have to pick first, and ZeusAI prefers the Temple of Artemis here.
Which is often the case, but not always interesting.
Not always, yes. So ZeusAI will get the Temple of Artemis and the Great Lighthouse. The draft is happening in chat, as you can see below the analysis. And shortly the players will actually pick the wonders physically on Board Game Arena. Okay. So the game starts, and ZeusAI feels a little bit at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Makes sense. I would feel a disadvantage as well.
Yeah, the biggest risk I would feel is a science victory from player 2, but he doesn't see it like that. It's more also the civil game doesn't look that good for him.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the mausoleum is a big offender in a science game.
Yeah, that's true.
So having that like makes it a bit safer. It is also true that 3 plays against 1 do make a difference, both in civil and science games.
Now the percentages have shifted a little bit.
It's already around 50%.
It's closer to 50%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I guess it's because of...
Is it really the clay reserve that made that much of a difference?
Well, I guess no, because the 2 options are very close.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know.
And he goes for the glass, opening the famous Snow Wonder triangle.
Yes. Which is when the second player gets to pick both adjacent cards in the third row, like this.
She's giving up a wood. I mean, still has one. It has the lighthouse. But wood is very important for Livandre. So I don't know.
Oh.
I think I would have given up the glass to secure the second wood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is true that the glass is important as well, but still.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think
also,
I would have taken the clay reserve there, honestly.
Yeah, food monopoly looks very strong because the Piraeus, the gardens, and the library, they all require at least 2 foods, so it makes a huge difference in construction costs.
so here ZeusAI was saying that Livandre should build the Piraeus, which he doesn't. It's always a tricky decision in age 1, whether and when to build extra turn wonders. ZeusAI does it often, as we have seen in the first game.
It's also considering building the lighthouse now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I would have played the Piraeus there, because yeah, I know I have the wood just now, so
Yeah.
in Livandre's shoes, I think I would feel comfortable playing as player 2 in this setup.
Yeah. But now the percentages shifted quite a lot. Now Zeus is happy.
It's still around 50%,
Yeah,
but in Zeus's favor.
still a lot better than the 40 something
Yeah.
before.
Okay, so an extra turn is coming, and it's the only extra turn that ZeusAI has, so it's, I mean, it's a tricky moment here.
Oh.
I don't think I'd play it.
Well, it's true that your opponent can counter, but it's super expensive for them to do so.
Yeah.
You're risking with science quite a bit, though. Now.
And now he's
Giving up
risking
control
science.
entirely of the.
So Livandre will have 2 science symbols, assuming that he's going to build the Piraeus, which makes sense, I think. I mean, either now or next move.
Well, he doesn't have the money to build the mortar.
Oh, yes, you're right. So he has to
the
discard
Appian Way.
or the
Or
Appian
discard
Way.
the
Oh, yes.
or discard the clay. Both are fine, I would say.
Zeus is not thinking about the Appian Way. Doesn't see.
Yeah, makes
doesn't
sense.
see it as a good move.
I agree. The Piraeus is very strong. If you can build it early, doesn't really make sense to postpone.
Okay.
And then
Livandre gives up the mortar, actually.
Okay.
No, wait.
No,
Okay.
he plays it now.
No, he can play it now. Okay.
But not with the Piraeus. It has to be the Appian Way now.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
So there is a super expensive second level.
Which is not happening.
Yeah, definitely too expensive, especially with the wood monopoly.
I would discard the red. Easy.
Yeah. Probably, yeah.
But now the percentages have shifted a lot, eh? Now Zeus thinks he's gonna win.
Yeah. I mean, now Zeus knows that Livandre can't build both pairs.
Yeah.
And still, I mean, doesn't see the mortar coming, so it's not even a guarantee.
The mortar is going to be useful here.
Oh, and it's there. But still.
Oh, it's architecture. Yeah.
Architecture.
Second game in a row.
Second game, yes.
But this time ZeusAI agrees about
the
architecture.
This is correct, definitely.
Makes a lot of sense here.
It does.
So actually ZeusAI now is very sad.
Yeah, a big setback.
Yeah, a setback, yeah.
Well, the wood monopoly was,
strong,
very important in that respect.
So now ZeusAI thinks that he will lose the civil game, actually.
Makes sense, because Livandre can access the double boot at the end of second age, and in the meantime, he can build his wonders thanks to architecture. So I guess that's the shifting point.
This is an interesting spot. So Zeus is evaluating between building the Piraeus with the clay. That's actually the only starting move he's thinking about. And then he could either build the blue card or the wheel. But the blue card was given a better chance of win. So instead, Livandre just built the wheel without playing the Piraeus first, which is what I would have done as well.
Yeah, I guess the reasoning is that, like, if you build the Piraeus first, then you can get the wheel for cheaper, and you probably want to build that anyway soonish.
Yeah.
So why not immediately?
Well, I think he sees one more card like this. Which is this one just now. If we would have built the Piraeus last turn, then he would have not had access to this one.
Yeah, but still, it's not very useful for either player, actually.
Well, he needs to find the quill. So seeing one more card is important.
That's true.
Yeah, now we are
Quill.
closer to 50% again.
Yeah, the problem with the quill is that it costs like 7 or something. And it's not there. That's an even bigger problem.
Well, 7 is going to be too expensive anyway.
7 was going to be too expensive, yeah.
Well, you could build hanging gardens.
But then, yeah. So that's probably why Zeus was suggesting to build the Piraeus first, because it would have saved money for later, probably. Would probably increase the chances of being able to build the quill.
We can see the wonders all completed again very soon. I agree that, like, Livandre shouldn't have left that shield around.
Yeah, that was a bit of a mistake.
That's a tiny good shield.
Yeah. Maybe it's too expensive to build, but it's more expensive to leave it there.
Yeah.
Discarding it was an option. Are you gonna see the wood reserve? Does Zeus go for the full monopoly or just discard?
I would discard the wood. Simple. Yeah.
With architecture around is not important.
Yeah. Well, he needs it for the greens in H3.
That's true. That's true. I know.
But yeah, it's better than letting Zeus have it.
Oh yeah, it's Livandre's turn. Sorry, I zoned out. I thought it was Zeus' turn. Do you build the wood or not? I guess you have to discard it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had 0 coins.
Yeah. And now it's only science for Livandre.
So again, same situation. He's got he's gonna find 3 green cards in H3. This time he's got only 1 replay.
Yes, and the military is
a much more serious military threat. Plus, he's a lot poorer, and he's got no wood or stone, which is what you need for the green cards.
Yeah, building these blue cards doesn't really make sense.
So it's good that Livandre didn't discard the brewery.
Yes.
Okay, so let's see H3.
Okay, good for now. Okay. Well, 2 are secured.
the two green cards are in very good positions.
Yeah.
For
So I think you
Livandre.
should let start the Zeus probably, eh? Is that what? No.
No,
No.
apparently no. So you need one more green.
You need one more green. If you let
Without
Zeus start,
dying.
you can see all the cards in row 2 by playing the Hanging Gardens as your second move. That's what I would do, honestly.
True.
Well, that's not what's happening, right?
But note that there is like the other sundial. I think it costs too much to build,
That's
for instance.
Because it's 2 woods, so it's 8 coins.
Yeah.
Ooh.
That's a lot of coins.
So now we
That,
have.
yeah.
Well, even another good
Good news
reason
for Zeus.
to let Zeus start so that you can play the Hanging Gardens for free. That's 6 extra coins.
Right. Yeah, I suppose.
Now he cannot
you're
play it because if he plays the Hanging Garden, he loses priority on the green cards. And
But there's another problem that ZeusAI will go to the left first, and if Livandre takes the sundial, he will get the 3 shields. Right.
That's a very serious problem.
So actually, yeah, it's probably worse than it looks like.
Well, no, it's. I think it's over.
Oh, no greens, yeah, so it's probably over.
So the science bet is not working twice.
I know. I know this time it didn't work. But I think if he would have let Zeus start, he would have had a very decent chance.
I don't know. Zeus said he would have started, so in Livandre's place. It's probably a reason.
I don't see why letting ZeusAI start would change a lot.
You see one more card, but
see one more card, but you make more coins and you have access to the red.
That's another bad news.
Yeah, you have access to the red in row 3 if you let Zeus start, right? Because you play.
Yes.
You can play your Hanging Garden on that one and get those 2 shields.
Yeah, that is true.
Although it was costing 9, so
yes,
that was probably the problem. So now I think it's impossible, right, to win with science. There's no possible way.
Yeah.
Because he has to use the Hanging Garden in order not to die. Oh wait.
No, it doesn't. But well,
he can
but
just
then
play
you have to give up the the green.
Oof. Okay.
So
Well. Yeah.
It doesn't matter much.
Yeah.
Okay. So we have a tie now.
Yeah.
We have a tie, 1-1.
And the GG. And Livandre can hopefully join us, and the score is now tied. So that's updated. Okay, so in both games, ZeusAI started seemingly at a disadvantage, but the second game much less so. The first stage actually was already enough to turn it around. Although in the middle of age 2, the percentages dropped quite a bit for Zeus.
Okay, here is Livandre.
There were 2 moments where the percentage made a big jump.
For Zeus.
For Zeus. And which moments were they?
So once was in the first age
Ah,
after a reveal. So
Uh-huh.
it started around 40%, but after there was the reveal of glass and the clay reserve, it jumped to 55 or 60. I don't remember.
Mm-hmm.
That was one, and it was just the reveal of the cards.
okay. So
And the other was in
Not
the
a
second
mistake.
age,
The other
when
one,
it
sorry?
went back down to around 50 or below 50%.
When was it? Sorry?
It was the very beginning of the second age, right?
Okay.
Oh yeah. When the level was there and the plum bomb was there, and you couldn't buy it. So
It was a tricky game. I probably would have played it a bit different. Money's been a problem for the science game. So there's been a couple of missed opportunities to discard some cards and get some extra coins that would have helped a little bit. But yeah, with the setup in H3, there wasn't a lot that you could do there with that triple shield card just next to one of the greens.
yeah,
That was a death sentence. But yeah, well, of course, if you get there in a little bit of a better shape, that one shield card in H2 that made a big difference. Also, now that I remember, the one that broke your 5 coins at the end of H2.
yeah,
Was there a chance to discard that one?
I think so. Yeah.
Yes, right. Yeah. It
Instead
was
of
opening the
taking,
wood for Zeus. He could take the 2 wood, but
which I didn't want to happen,
sure, yeah,
especially if I'm trying to make a science game.
I understand. But then
One mistake that I think I did for sure was I took the glass, which was not really needed. I think I could have discarded it. Would have left me with 2 coins to take the wood after he took
okay.
but yeah, I think in the third air at some point I even gave up defending me because I was like, yeah, like even either find some red hidden there or it's like,
yeah,
Yeah, I think if you get there with if you get in H3 with this setup, of course, now that we know it, with a few more coins and one less shield hit from Zeus, so in a better military position. Probably if you let Zeus start and then you play the hanging guard, and for that red in row 3, you can get out of it. Maybe, not sure.
maybe.
Yeah.
we still don't know because we didn't see the third green card, right?
True. That is a good point. It might not have been there at all in the first place.
Yeah, 50% chance, I would say, given
Yeah.
3 cards less.
3 cards. Yeah. Okay. Well, GG.
Yeah.
GG.
Yes, the score is even.
I need a quick break at least to go to toilet.
Sure.
Sure.
Yes.
And then we
Let's
can
take,
play another game or you tell me.
Let's take a 5-minute break. How about it? And we will be back very soon, so stay tuned.
Thanks.
Okay, we are back after this short break, and we are getting into game 3. So whenever you're ready, Livandre, you can leave us and start the game. Good luck.
Thanks.
Okay, so now Zeus is second player again. And again, not very happy because there is a 1-1 split, at least in this first draft.
So we see the preferences. ZeusAI wants to go second.
Interesting. I don't know if I agree. I guess he values law for a science win. And there's also like good alternatives. There's agriculture inside the library. There's philosophy. So
yeah, that seems
economy, but
the main point, I suppose.
But still, the Appian Way is a lot more expensive than the Hanging Gardens, especially as second player, where you have trouble getting resources. So
yeah, the Appian Way is much worse than the Hanging Gardens for sure. Here again, 1-1 split. Again, it's a problematic situation for ZeusAI.
And again, decently good Replay Wonder versus a mediocre one. But then we have the statue against the pyramids. So yeah, Zeus prefers to go second, but I can see it is not changing much. Yeah. Indeed, we can see the difference is like 29% against 26. So it's close call, which is not good for a player too.
Yeah, so it's a 29% estimate after seeing the second draft.
But these are the games we like to see when Zeus starts with low chances and then slowly but surely increases them.
Let's see if it happens.
Let's see. So tough.
I think in the first two games there weren't a lot of like shifting points.
Yeah.
In a way.
Okay, we already see a bit of a drop from 30-ish to 20-ish%. And I guess again the reason is that like the good stuff is on the sides, which means it's more difficult to access the third row. I mean the clay is gonna leave the board before the reds, before the blue. So once the center card is out, both the papyrus and the stone will go to Livandre, which is not great. Oh, okay.
So it's good that at least there's an easy triangle here to create.
Yeah, but that's costly. You have to give up this food to do so. Well, it's not happening. That's interesting choice. I don't agree with Livandre's pick. Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think it does feel like Livandre could have played it better here.
Yeah, and now we're gonna see a second triangle, right? Like the blue is going.
Yeah, that is true. Although, yeah, exactly. Yes.
So,
exactly.
yeah.
With the blue card. So still good for Livandre, but maybe there is a little bit more space to play this out.
Yeah, the estimate changed a lot.
Yeah. Well, the wood reserve is a very good pick there. And Yeah, you get the papyrus, you get the stone, that helps. But, 40% now, 45, that's playable. That's definitely playable.
Okay, so Livandre gets possibly a second green card, even though ZeusAI does not think it's worth building.
I guess it becomes a lot more expensive to. Yeah.
Oh, and
you need to discard whatever you see now in order to play the Imperials or the Hanging Gardens, and probably the Imperials. And you want to do that because the Tavern is very strong and Imperials being built early is also very good. So this means discarding whatever you see beneath this red shield, probably a stone, which is needed. I don't know.
Because ZeusAI was thinking about building the Great Library, so he didn't do it at the end.
Yeah, but
was very close to doing it.
Very expensive library.
Indeed.
Okay. Without law, Zeus is not scared about like the science threat.
Triple science.
And Livandre can't even go for the replay now. And I would say that Zeus has even better resources as player 2.
Yeah.
That's a very good first stage for player 2.
And without the law token being available, the threat of the 3 greens is not so big.
Yeah. We see the library. Wow.
Yes, the very expensive library.
Economy makes sense. Like your opponent has no stone, is gonna have to build his wonders at some point to get some resources. It is true that you start H2 with very little coins, which is a bit not great.
And we see the level.
Okay.
The fourth symbol that Livandre is missing.
This is not fantastic for Zeus. But
that will play a role at some point during the second age.
But you can still defend. You still have 2 replays. And if Livandre takes the wheel, you can spend one of your replays to get rid of the level and of the science threat forever.
Yes.
So
the wheel may be off limits for Livandre for this reason.
Zeus going to 0 coins. Worth it, I agree actually.
Yeah, and now the chances have shifted in the other direction according to ZeusAI.
Yeah.
Since the cards in the second age were revealed.
I see.
No, I think now it's working for me. Is it?
Okay.
Yeah. Yes. It took me some time, but I'm back.
We were missing your commentary.
Yeah. I've missed the first stage, so I don't know what happened.
So ZeusAI was second player, but he managed to get good resources in age 1, whereas Livandre took 3 science symbols, but there is no law.
And he's missing the stone.
He's missing the stone, yes.
Interesting enough, Livandre hasn't built a single card in age 2 yet. I guess in order not to give coins to Zeus. So economy might not be working yet, but it is putting pressure on the opponent.
Oh yeah, ZeusAI also built the Great Library in age 1 and took economy.
Yeah.
That's another interesting thing that happened.
He was considering building it several times, and in the end, as the last move, he did it.
That's a very strong economy just now, eh?
Yeah.
Yes.
Livandre has to spend money for everything.
Now it is.
Yeah.
He's doing its work. Okay, so now.
Oh.
So now Livandre can get to the level, right? But ZeusAI ignores it.
Yeah. Is it worth it? I don't know.
I don't know. But at least we should mention it, I think. For now, both players are leaving the level where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The laboratory.
So it would have to spend two.
Oh, and I
two
guess
replays.
it is happening. I guess
Zeus is going to the left now.
Yeah.
So Zeus is okay. Is going to go to the level, I suppose. Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay. So now the time has come to get rid of the level and destroy the science game for Livandre forever.
Yeah. Which is the only
probably
game.
The statue after that. Well, now it's saying to build it, which doesn't really make any
You can
sense.
still probably win with military, yeah? Livandre, I mean.
Yeah.
So he's got theology, he's got the good resources for the military game. So I'd say he still has a chance. Yeah, 20%, he says, more or less.
I wonder why build the level instead of statue. I guess he wants to keep the statue for...
In case he finds the...
Yeah, the
stone.
The stone, yes.
But then why not just discard it?
Why not discard it?
Yeah.
It's unclear.
It's 1 point, and you're short on coins. I don't know. Seems a weird choice to build it. You're not gonna do anything with it.
I think I would have lived without stones here, honestly. I would have not used the Hanging Gardens just now. The only way...
Especially because you're also giving up the 2 shields
the 2 shield there, so I would have given up on the cards that are, the stone here.
Yeah, and also because the sun is not going to last. Like, even if you find
also, yeah.
Which it does.
So he does get
strategy, but now he starts from very low in the track.
Yeah.
And he's played one of his wonders already.
But he's going to start H3.
Yeah, I mean, it's still not over. Still not over.
Yeah, and he has theology still.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, with the Colossus.
The Colossus. I guess you still have to, yeah.
It's definitely still winnable.
Still winnable. Still winnable.
Military.
Yeah.
So I guess we see the stone, and then we see the stone dying to the statue.
No.
Using the brewery, probably.
Actually, yeah. It's better to discard it.
Care about the wood, I guess. Discard it. Okay.
It's 7 extra coins, basically. The 5 he gets from discarding, plus the 2 he spends on building the stone.
Okay, but now, like, building a brewery now seems, I don't know, you give up on the statue, I guess. It's not that important, true, because the wood, like, doesn't matter much.
No.
But then, I guess the civil game is over anyway. It doesn't
not
matter
many
if Livandre starts with double replay.
But yeah, not many red cards in this setup visible.
Well,
so he's got to count on the hidden ones.
The 3 shields are there.
Yeah.
And they don't.
So those are for the second player.
Yeah. This one is to start on the right, and then this has to
start
then
on
the
the
left,
right.
maybe reveal some red, and then
Yeah.
play the Colossus for
But with
the
this setup,
Arsenal.
there's a high chance the red cards are gonna be together. For
Yeah.
example, in the sixth row, or even in the second row, and
Yeah, or even in front of the Arsenal.
or even in front of the Arsenal. Basically, there's very few combinations of setups that make it possible.
And Livandre needs at least 3 red cards, right, in total?
Yeah, the
More, I
two
would say.
3 shield ones. That's 8.
1, 2, 3, 4. I would say more than that. Because Zeus can defend with the statue. They need 4
Yeah.
cards.
No, I think 3
Even-
red cards
3?
are enough. With
Oh,
the
no.
Colossus.
4. 1, 2, 3, and the Colossus. Yeah, yeah.
Oh, with the Colossus, of course. Yeah, that's right.
So I mean, it could happen, right?
Yeah.
To get 2 more. Why not letting ZeusAI start and
You
get
can.
priority on,
Yeah, exactly. This is
get priority on the Arsenal.
Yes, because you don't see the 2 cards.
There is no big advantage in letting Zeus start here.
Because Zeus would start on the right.
If he
and you
starts
get-
on the right,
you get none of the first 3 cards. Okay, yes.
Yeah.
okay, this is a strange move.
No, I mean double.
Too bad. Okay.
No, actually, it's probably the best move, I suppose.
Okay,
If
no, it's
he has
strong,
the
yeah.
coins, I mean, he has 0 coins. This is the
that's the problem.
But in terms of extra turns, I think it makes sense, because we ruled out almost all other options. Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, but now he can't build anything. Probably.
I think he would. I would have bet on not finding the. That's the problem. Okay.
Yes, this is problematic, obviously.
I think I would have started on the right without using the wonders. Just discarding, hoping there is no red card on the right in row 2. If you get lucky there, then you can win it.
Yeah,
but he can still win, by the way. He can
still win.
Yeah, but that's the thing with this double. You don't have any coins to build anything in those cards, and you need these 2 cards. I guess you can see the last 2, the ones in the last row.
He's given up. He's building a green. He's well.
What? Why?
I think he realized it was impossible, or he came to that conclusion. It wasn't, I think.
But is it impossible?
Now it is. Now that he missed like 6 coins.
Okay, now it is officially impossible.
Yeah.
Regardless of.
It was not entirely impossible yet.
No, it wasn't. It wasn't. He could make it if he had discarded the green.
He needed to reveal a red.
Now he didn't find any red here, so it was impossible.
Okay, no.
You needed a red here in row 4.
Yeah.
So it didn't make any difference. But
I guess
he had started. Sorry, go ahead.
No, sorry.
I was just saying that if he had started on the right without the wonders, without the replays, just betting on that 1 card in row 2 not being red, he might have made it. Maybe.
Well, no, because you still need one of these 2, right?
Well, no. In that case, he can.
I mean,
build,
if you start, then you need to use the Colossus to get the Arsenal, and then you don't get to see this last 2 face down cards. So
no, but he can. Oh, he could not build the pyramid then. Yeah, no, you're right.
No.
Yeah, no, you're right.
I was saying, actually, I guess the
it was the
idea behind the double at the beginning was to avoid like Zeus building a statue, which means you can get away with like the arsenal in 2 reds, like two shield reds. You don't need the Praetorium at that point.
We knew one of these must have been red. There were 3 outs.
Yeah.
So with 3 outs,
if you let Zeus build a statue, then you need to find the Praetorium, I would say. You don't get away with the arsenal and two shield reds.
No.
Am I wrong?
Sure.
Well, he needs 6 steps now. But if Zeus builds a statue, then you need 7 steps.
Yeah, but if you had played the 3 shield for 8.
No, so that's what I'm saying. You need the Praetorium. You need that specific red card.
Yes.
I see. I see. Okay.
Yeah, 12 points is not even that far in the end.
It's not, but
no.
What, like, another thing that we know is that Zeus doesn't care by how
at
much.
The end, yeah.
It doesn't try to win with as many points as possible.
No, definitely not. Yeah.
Welcome back.
Hello again.
Hello.
Well, this was a difficult one.
Yes, very aggressive ZeusAI, I think, in the first 2 ages.
Yeah.
Yeah, how did you feel about this game? Did you feel you could make it at a certain point?
I don't know. So the first era wasn't really the best because he got a lot of resources, but I thought I can still, fight back during the second. But then during the second, I did not get any new resources actually. Maybe 1 glass, and that was kind of a combination.
And that double replay on the level sealed out the science game. That was a good move. From there, you only had the military option, so you should have invested everything. I think there were possibilities in the military game with a little bit more accuracy in discarding. So I would have not played the Hanging Garden.
The Hanging Gardens.
Yeah, saving some money for later. You didn't need that glass, of course. That gave you access to the stone as well, but he had Zeus, so it didn't really matter.
Yeah.
So by doing that, you also gave away the 2 shields in at the end of H2, the one that was visible in the last row. So I think that was probably what changed the game.
I don't remember exactly the era, but I need the Hanging Gardens in order to also make a double symbol and pick up the strategy at some point.
Yes.
So in this game, I would have kept the 2 shields, but I would be without strategy.
That's true.
Yes.
That's true.
So maybe it's still doable.
Yeah, it's a good point. I didn't think about that. But in the end, strategy. If you give away a 2 shield, that's a 4 shield difference. So we were talking about building 3 cards.
It didn't help because I only played 1 red card, so it gave me 1 shield more. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah, and even in the best case scenario, where you build 3 red cards in H3, it's basically giving you 3 shields, while was giving away the 2 shield card in H2 is a difference of 4. So
but you also start the 3rd age if you leave the 2 shields there.
That's true.
So this way, Livandre could start H3.
Because he was ahead, on military.
ZeusAI was ahead by 1 step,
Okay.
I think.
Yeah.
So
But then it would mean that probably Zeus would have started H3, playing
okay, yeah.
the statue of Zeus, so gaining 1 shield back.
Then you have to.
And I guess you won't even get
replay.
strategy at that point. So
It's similar. But in the end, the problem was the money. If you could build the Praetorium,
Oh yes.
It's always money, the problem.
it's always the money. It's always about the money.
Okay, I will play another rematch.
Yes.
Go to the fourth.
So whenever you're ready, feel free
Yeah.
to rematch.
See you later.
See you later.
Good luck.
Good luck.
you need it
Okay,
against
so-
Zeus. Everyone needs a bit of luck against Zeus.
Okay, the table is set. And I think we have a game.
Yes.
This game number 4. ZeusAI goes first, which means that Livandre selects the first player, and it is a good draft for player 2.
Yeah.
Over here.
Yeah.
It's one of those games where if you don't have the rebalanced variant,
Yes,
then
you're
you already
doomed.
know.
Yeah.
Looking at this screen, you already know you don't stand a chance.
Yes.
Even with a much weaker player, you're probably gonna lose. So this is exactly what the kind of game I was talking about earlier, that where the rebalanced variant really helps a lot.
But fortunately for our audience, we still have a game. Oh, this is going to be very interesting.
Aha, it's a 2-0 split.
2-0.
One of the famous 2-0 split. That of course this is something that cannot happen with the normal rules at a regular play, at least. But it's something you see occasionally in the rebalanced version, where player 2 has 2 replays and player 1 has none.
However, you get library with strategy possibly and 3 military wonders. I've never seen like this 20% military chance at the
It's
beginning
a
of the
very
game.
interesting
That's a
setup.
lot.
This is going to be an interesting game. So
Yes.
what is the feeling of Zeus on this?
So
It's a
50%.
50-50. Wow. See what it does?
Wow, this is going to be interesting. So
I
ZeusAI
would-
needs to fight against 2 extra turns to replace.
Yes, theology is gonna be a game breaker here. Like if Zeus finds theology, the game is over.
But he's not trying to build green cards for now.
Oh,
Well, almost. It says it's very close, but interestingly enough, the discarding the blue is slightly better.
I guess another option could be to try to build a library as soon as possible, and if you find strategy, then.
Oh, that's interesting.
Although leaving you need both really. This doesn't help much.
And the wood reserve is not making it more expensive. Whereas if he leaves the papyrus, it does.
Yeah.
Yeah, although the wood reserve helps you a lot building the great libraries.
Helps you 3 coins and costs 3 coins. So.
Yeah, it's 6 instead of 6. So.
Okay. Yeah. No, you're right.
Not that much.
And actually, they're already thinking about that.
Yes, thinking about the great library.
Maybe it's a bit early, but
I think
not yet.
Zeus built the Great Library in Age 1 in 2 of the previous games, right?
Yeah, whenever he
Yeah.
had it, basically.
Yes. So maybe we are going to see it again here. But decent economy for ZeusAI for now,
Yeah.
which makes sense for player 1.
Right. We see the gardens.
Okay, so we see one of the
Interesting.
extra turns.
It's a good call, I would say.
Zeus wouldn't not
No,
happy with it.
no,
Zeus
he
disagrees.
didn't like
No,
it.
disagreed.
I guess you need to defend from the military threat is real, and if you give up your relays, both relays in the first stage, it becomes a lot more difficult to defend from that threat. And yeah, if you give up science as well.
Yeah, here I would have taken the wheel.
Yeah, absolutely.
Although he's already poor again, so he doesn't have enough money to build the Appian Way.
Now we see the library, probably. It makes sense.
Yeah.
It's the cheapest,
club,
yeah. It's as cheap as it can be in H1. Strategy is there. Ooh. Do you leave that palisade around or not?
Right, because now the palisade becomes a good card suddenly.
Oh yeah, it's 2 shields.
Well, it already took a very hard spin, this one.
Yeah, going to be very hard for Livandre
Ooh.
to climb.
He plays it.
He's scared. Rightfully so, maybe, but
Yeah.
Building it has a bit extreme. I guess you're saying, okay, I didn't want to build the Appian Way anyway.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what he says. Although it was slightly expensive, right?
Yeah.
2 coins.
And you leave the glass around. I don't know. Glass is not.
I would have discarded. I would have
no wood
discarded
at all.
the glass.
That's interesting. We didn't see any wood in first stage.
According to Zeus, it's basically over already.
Already.
Yeah.
I can see that. Like,
Yeah.
what's your counterplay? Like, Zeus has the resources. It has all the military push.
Against this very strong strategy so early.
You can get a wood monopoly, but that's about it.
Yeah, it's missing the wood. Yeah. That's really the only edge he's got.
Yeah. And you really don't need that much. It's 4 steps to military defeat. That's 2 1-shield red cards. Oh, that helps.
Oh yes, this helps a lot.
Oof.
At least for the time being. Yeah, Livandre was a bit lucky getting both 2 shield red cards revealed.
Yeah. And now he also has priority on the other rem. Oh. Oh, but
the wood.
That makes the civil game a lot easier for Zeus, I guess.
Yeah.
Now.
Now there's basically really no chance.
Yeah. And while you defend from the military threats, Zeus gets all the blue cards, all the points. Not much you can do about it. It's also expensive to defend.
Everything is also expensive. It's a yellow game for Livandre, and you know that usually in civil games, if you're playing yellow, it's like 7 out of 10 you lose against the player who plays brown.
If a man with brown cards meets a man with yellow cards, man
And
with
he's
yellow
still
cards is
missing
a dead man.
both gray resources, both rare resources.
The caravansary, that doesn't even help because it's just one.
Costs 8 plus the missed discard.
It's a
That's like
one coin discount on every card. It's not.
And it basically
Glass is
costs
probably
13.
better, but then again, there's the circus against, so you can even.
Maybe you should build the blue card.
Probably, or the red one, even actually.
Or the red. Or the red. Well, but again, you're not gonna win militarily against strategy and all that little wonders. Like, what's even your game here?
Ah, wow.
That's another. Wow. What's the lighthouse doing? Nothing.
Well, you just try to close the wonders, I suppose.
I guess. But...
You probably want to do it if you want to have a chance.
But
we
yeah,
probably don't
it's
have
too
a
late.
chance anyway.
It's too late for everything.
And at this point, ZeusAI does not even bother about the red card. Okay. No,
maybe a little bit.
It does.
But yeah, that's not a military threat. It's just as a way.
He's probably not happy about giving away the forum. But
yeah,
well, he doesn't care.
A little bit, but not even that much. I mean, it is useful. Now you get the caravansary because the papyrus is not doing anything.
For anyone.
Civil game is long gone.
Yeah.
Oh, I guess you don't build your wonders yet because you want to keep starting rights.
Yes.
Exactly.
Now Livandre is gonna build the Apping Way and the pyramids eventually, but too late. Too late.
Yeah, the civil game is basically sealed.
Yeah.
But getting strategy in the first age is always extremely strong.
You don't see that very often,
it happens rarely, but
when it happens, it's usually a game-winning move. So even without any replay.
And we have seen ZeusAI always building a lot of wonders in the first stage.
Yeah.
Well, he only built one in this one, but
well, more than usual.
More than usual, yeah. And of course, he also had 4 shields in the other 3 wonders, so strategy was even stronger than usual.
Yeah.
Yeah, so usually I think when there is this 2-0 setup, I think the way to get out of it for player 1 is to get theology.
Yes.
But this time, well, another way out was found.
Another way out, yes.
Just destroy the opponent.
It's funny that now we see the live score and it's so close, and Livandre has an extra turn. And the pyramid, but that's
still he sees
close to be enough.
Possible way he can come up. How? Yeah. If you look more closely, you see why.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it's easier to say when
of course,
see the analysis.
That,
if I was playing in ZeusAI,
I was still trying my best.
Oh, I won. Probably, maybe.
Yes, and also, maybe ZeusAI will win by 1 point, and you will think it was close.
Yeah. Yeah, I would feel better, but I wouldn't feel winning.
Yeah, because the score is completely even, or almost.
Almost, that's true.
Yeah, there's a few more coins, but that's it.
But there's
the pyramids are like 9 points. Like they do something.
Yeah, but Zeus has one extra move basically. Yeah, there's an odd number of cards, so
that's true.
It's 5 to 4.
Right. So yeah, it's a couple of coins, a couple of points advantage for ZeusAI.
Yeah, I guess we're gonna see the pyramids now. Now or never. And you really do.
He's 7 points ahead just now.
The same number of moves left. Yeah.
Yeah, you need to build the pyramids. Exactly.
Yeah, and this card doesn't do anything for you.
This is a good guild.
This one's strong. You will win by a small margin, eh? but enough, of course. Yeah.
But enough.
Some like 10 points or something. Maybe even more.
I would say less. All these coins are not doing anything for you.
Okay, only 4 points. Wow. Yeah.
It looks close, but it was like, no, it's not close.
I was in control. Yeah.
I knew it from age 2.
Yeah, you would never be able to win.
Hi, welcome back, Livandre.
Hello.
Hello.
To be honest,
How did you feel about this one? Did you feel you had a chance?
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Instead, Zeus thought there was never a chance for you.
Oh, really?
Well, after he found strategy, basically,
Yeah.
Which was very early. Then after that, he was like, well, this is not going to happen, mate.
Well, I mean, maybe you're a bit extreme, but after strategy, the odds were
well low. Yeah, I think in some cases you might have had maybe 20% at best. But usually it was below that, in the 10, 12%, and then in H3 even lower.
Impressive. Yeah. No, I did not have that feeling, to be honest. And I actually enjoyed the game because also with this kind of endings where I did not really count the points. So I was like, and the difference is 4 points.
4 points,
So kind of tight. So I actually had a much more fun this game than the previous one, for instance.
Of course. No, I can imagine. From a normal point of view, you would always think, well, okay.
Yeah.
There's always a chance, right? It should be possible. But yeah, man.
Maybe we should have disabled the analysis after age 1.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like in H3, like okay, you see the analysis and it's like, okay, if you like really look at the board and think and count the points, it's like, okay, Zeus is ahead.
Ahead, but yeah.
But
can
then
still hope.
From that to say, okay, I'm definitely winning this, I would have done it. Like
No. You're right.
The computer does.
You're right. Well,
Well played.
well played. Yes.
Livandre. Yes.
Thanks.
3-1. It's better. Well, did anyone go 3-0? No.
No.
Everyone managed to win a game.
The
Okay.
first game.
The first game, yes.
It's only the first game, really?
Yeah.
First game is always lost by ZeusAI for some reason.
Well, yeah. And JJ was the only one who managed to actually win the match, 3-2,
Yes.
I think, right?
3-2.
But that wasn't using the rebalance rules, so
Not with the rebalance rules. Yeah.
it does shift the odds in Zeus' favor, I would say.
Because he started the first game, so he had 3 games where he started. I don't remember. Probably, I would
I don't
imagine.
remember either, but I mean,
Yeah.
Nice.
Okay. Any final thoughts? You had fun, Livandre?
I had fun, definitely. Especially when the game feels actually challenging, although it's a mere illusion apparently, because Zeus knows already that you're not gonna make it. Of course, it's about probabilities, so they're always correct. Like when you have like a big sample, it's never on just one match.
Yes, that is
Sure. Yeah.
It would have been fun to see, like, if in one of the reveals of the third era, there would be some very unlucky combination for Zeus and see if the probabilities changed. No?
Yes.
we did. I mean,
That
we
would be
have
really
seen
fun to
one
see.
game in which someone won with 1% odds, but then
Yeah,
you know, a 1 in 100 chance happens 1 times out of 100.
yeah.
So
I guess
we're bound to see it.
it's the way Zeus evaluates the situation. Is like, it's not I'm gonna win by a big margin. It's like, if I'm in this position, I'm always winning. Like, somehow I will win the game for sure, but it's not gonna be by a big margin probably. But 98% of the times that I find myself in this position, I end up winning the game, either civilly or militarily. But he doesn't care about how much, so he still puts like, okay, this is a no chance match.
One thing that struck me in the first era is that he totally ignored the green cards.
Yeah.
While I thought, like, you don't have any replay, there is the theology there.
Yeah.
I think a human player would consider at least, building some to have a chance.
For sure, yes.
Yeah, we were also mentioning while ZeusAI was ignoring the green cards, we were saying, probably he wants to build the green cards to try to get theology.
Instead, he had the library.
I guess my interpretation is that if you have no replays at all, it's not very easy to find the matching pair in H2, because if the card is visible and your opponent has at least one replay, they can deny it to you in all cases.
Yeah.
Although you can still find it like on a hitman
happen.
Card, so who knows?
And at least if you force your opponent to play his replays in denying you the pair, that's almost half a replay you've gained. In the balance. So I would have played green probably. It feels like a scientific game. There's theology, there's law. Greens are strong. But strategy from library is also strong if you have 4 shields.
Especially in the first era, it means that
Mage 1, yes.
I was counting every red card.
You had to build one in H1 at the end for 2 points. That already puts you in a terrible position.
In that era, I was anyway starting second because I played a replay. It's just the fact that it cost 2 coins. It was like the red one, which
discarding, so it's even more.
Yeah.
You miss on like 4 coins.
And I guess that's the reason why we discarded the green. So it's like, okay, each coin is important. I want to build a library as soon as possible to get as much value out of red cards as possible.
So it was a good plan. It worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, by the way, I think ZeusAI disagreed on building the extra turn in age 1.
Right.
I think there was a shift in...
Hanging Garden it didn't like. Because actually before the Hanging Garden was 50-50.
Yes,
then
it
after
was
the
for a while.
70 to 70-30, and then after the strategy pull out of the library, it was like over.
Well, I guess with that move, you basically give up the possibility of starting the next era.
Well, you can always play also the Appian Way to get it back, but then
No, yeah, true.
But strong, very strong at that point.
Yeah.
Especially against strategy.
But I think in that decision, one key factor that played was also the previous matches, because I was like, no, another match with Zeus cutting me off the resources. No, I just want that yellow, the reserve, some peace of mind.
Yeah. Okay, well played. You defended well.
Thanks.
Yep.
I'm
Thank
happy.
you for joining.
Oh, thanks for the invitation. It was an interesting afternoon. Doesn't happen. I hope that you also enjoyed it and the people watching. And yeah, now I will continue in the arena tournament.
Yes, good luck for that.
Yeah, but this season I have less time to play in general.
Okay. Yeah.
Which maybe is a good thing, because it's kind of addictive this game. So.
There's also the World Championship starting next Sunday.
But if it's turn-based, I can manage it.
World Championship next Sunday. Yeah, if anyone who's watching has not signed up, do it. It's a very good tournament.
Yeah, so see you there also.
We'll see you there. Yes.
See you there. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.
See you next
Bye.
time.